Hello, beautiful people. Hello, my loves. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. Let me get you started over here on Instagram. I'm going to go ahead and share this video out. If you're joining me, go ahead and share this video out. We're talking about generational curses today. Video, where are you? So we'll get started in just a minute. I'm going to go ahead and share this video out, and then we'll move forward. Hi, Instagram. I'm trying to go live on Instagram every time I'm going live on Facebook, especially if I'm not going live inside of the private community. Right post. Happy Monday, my loves. If you're here with me, say hi. Let me know where you're from. And share this video out as I'm on a mission for millions, waging war against the spirit of fear. It's time out for this fear. Join me now. We are live. Okay. In the group. Hey, y'all. How are you, loves? For joining me, say hi. Let me know where you're from. And you know what? It's crazy because I feel like I have to say that now because I have people watching me from all over the world. And as I'm getting to know these women, I'm like, oh my gosh, like you're not even local. And it's amazing because that's the whole purpose of this is to get this word out, the mission for millions waging war against the spirit of fear. This is for the world. This is for every woman in the world who wants to get beyond the spirit of fear and these feelings of unworthiness so that they can walk confident and courageous into their purpose, unapologetically, boldly knowing that what they're doing has value and has purpose. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to share it there. And then let me share this on my page. Hey, Linda. Hello, beautiful. Oh, good. It comes up on the screen. I'm actually using the Facebook Live. I guess now Facebook has where you can go live on the computer. And I didn't even realize that until the other day. I'm like, oh, I don't have to use third-party apps anymore. Even though I do like what is it called? The Be Live TV because I'm able to actually like put like captions below. Kind of like it. All right, New Orleans. Hey, I've got to get to New Orleans. I promise you, I do. It's good to have you here, love. I'm just going to share this onto my business page and then we'll get started. Okay, join me now. We are live. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and get started. So I want to talk about generational curses today. I could be here for the next 3 hours talking to you about generational curses. I really could. But today I just really wanted to focus on these generational curses, these generational transmissions that they're disguised as a close-knit community, but really it's like an anti-growth mindset. And it's not that it's anyone in particular's fault, but I will say this, it's up to you to break that cycle and break that chain. Hello, Crystal. How are you, love? All right, so actually, I don't need to do this. If I can see you, if I can see your comments here, I love this. Okay, so I really just wanted to have a quick conversation, and I used to kind of pose these live videos as, I'm not going to be here long, I'm just going to have you here for like 15 minutes. I don't anticipate this being a long video. You know what? I learned to quit prefacing these videos. I'll talk until I'm finished. So if you can stay with me, great. If not, please share this video out. I'm on a mission for millions, waging war against the spirit of fear. And I really want to get this message into the hands of as many women as possible so that they understand who they are, who God really says that they are, and the power that lies within them. And I really want them to be able to walk in confidence and courage, overcoming the scary things, overcoming things that have happened to them in the past that has stifled their vision, stifled their growth and their dreams. I want to get this message out to them so that they understand that they are worthy, they are powerful, and that they can do the very thing that God has placed on the inside of them. So share this out. If you're here with me, share this out. Say hi. Let me know where you're from. And these generational curses, y'all. So today I really just wanted to discuss the mindset aspect of it. Because what I'm finding in just so many different communities, and it's not even just about cultural. This is cross-cultural, where you have this anti-growth mindset. So I'm wondering, have you ever noticed these generational transmissions or these generational curses kind of coming up in your family? And what it looks like your grandmother dealt with it. Your mother dealt with it. You deal with it. Maybe your great-grandmother dealt with it. Maybe an uncle or grandfather dealt with it. But it's something that keeps coming up for people in your family, and you're struggling with it. They're struggling with it. And so it's really, really important to take note of maybe what that is. And it comes in so many different forms, from, abuse and domestic violence, sexual abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse, elderly abuse, child abuse, to illnesses, diabetes, high blood pressure. There's these generational transmissions, and they go from the spirit of poverty. They go from generation to generation to generation. And it's not until someone is, number one, aware of what these generational transmissions are, and not even just about being aware, but you have to even know that there's something wrong. You have to know that there's something wrong, that there's something that I'm dealing with that I recognize in other family members, and they're dealing with it as well. So number one, it's about an awareness. I don't have like a number one, number two, number three. But if I did, number one would be about an awareness, really being aware of what your family is struggling with and what you're struggling with. Taking note of the things that have come across your family from generations to generations. So once you're aware, you can acknowledge, like, okay, this is a problem, yo. This is a problem. And it's something that I don't want to deal with anymore. You've got to make a determination to say, I want to move past this. I want to shift my mindset so that I can move into a place of abundance and prosperity. And one of the things that I really, really notice, especially when it comes to this anti-growth mindset, I hear people, especially women, going into the same professions maybe their mother was in or their grandmother was in. Have you ever heard, like, your grandmother was a nurse, and, and I'm a nurse, we're good at it, this is what we do, we're nurses. And now there's an expectation. There's an expectation that you follow the same path that your mother and your grandmother followed, or maybe your aunties followed. There's an expectation that you do the same thing. And so when I say this is disguised kind of like as a close-knit community, because for them, this is what we do, this is what we're good at. You should embrace your gifts and your skills. This is what they know. So of course, this is what they're going to encourage you to do. But what happened to that dream on the inside of you that wasn't to be a nurse, or that wasn't to do the same thing that your mama did and that your grandmother did? You've stifled that dream on the inside of you to essentially kind of succumb to what you know. But that's the same thing that they did. They succumbed to what, I don't even know if that's a word, succumb? I don't know, is that the past tense of succumb? I'm going to say it. They succumbed to what they knew. This is what they knew. This is what they felt like they were good at. And so they're going to automatically encourage you to come along and to do the same thing, because this is where their gifts and their skills lie. So they think. Now, that's not to say that you don't have gifts and skills in that same area. But if God has placed a dream on the inside of you that's different from what you've seen, that's different from what you know, number one, it can be scary. It can be scary to do something totally different from what you've been exposed to. And that's the thing when it comes to these generational curses. Even if we're talking about the deeper things, which we're not going to talk about today, we will get into that in our mastermind when we're talking about abuse, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, domestic violence. When we're talking about even illnesses, when we're talking about things on that level, we've got to understand that we've grown up in that environment. And when we've grown up in a particular environment, we become a product of that environment. And that becomes how we see the world moving forward. You wonder why So many women who are in domestic violence situations have experienced it before, whether it's been in past relationships themselves, or whether it's been, they've watched their mother experience domestic violence, or their aunties or their grandmother experience domestic violence. They've seen it. It's become a part of their world, and essentially a lot of times we're predisposed to the sins of previous generations. And so that's why I feel it's so important to expose it, to expose these generational curses and these generational transmissions that are taking out our bloodlines. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. And he's trying to take out bloodlines because he understands the power that you hold. And so it's important to be aware of his tactics and his tricks and his traps to keep you stuck on a mindset level that's below where God is trying to take you. God is trying to expand your territory. He's trying to expand your mind and show you some things that you've never seen before. Yes, it may be scary, but we've got to trust the vision that God has placed on the inside of us. And that's what I really want to encourage you to do. And it's not that you're rebelling against your family, but you've got to understand that you are an individual and that God has given you different dreams that he's given your mother, or that he's given your grandmother or your aunties or your uncles. Everybody has different dreams. And I encourage you to, if you recognize this in your family, I encourage you to go back and ask your mother if you can, or go back and ask your grandmother, what were your dreams? What did you really want to do in life? If they're doing something that they don't feel like they love, or that you feel like they don't necessarily love, ask them, what was your original dream, Mom? Like, what did you really want to do before you, became a nurse, or whatever it is that she's doing? And many times we'll find that they're not living their true calling. They're not living the gifts that God has placed on the inside of them, but they're doing it maybe because they felt like they were obligated to do it, or maybe they felt like this is just all that I'm good at. And so I want to encourage you to break that chain. Break that chain. It's about the mindset and understanding that God has given you permission to explore and to grow and be adventurous and be curious about new things. You don't have to stay in the box, this anti-growth mindset box that's disguised as like a close-knit family. And this is just what we do. And it's not that they're bad people. They're not bad people. But that's all that they know. So this is where it comes in for you to, start being adventurous and start exploring and start taking one step at a time to really follow the dream that God has placed on the inside of your heart, especially if it's not in alignment with what, your family has been doing up until now. Or like another example, I experienced a little bit of it, but not a lot. And another example is what if you feel like you want to move? What if you're ready to move away from your family and, explore the world? Or if there's, a geographical location that you've really been eyeing, you're like, I want to move to Minnesota. There's a job in Minnesota that I really want to take. Hey, Sonia. Hello, beautiful. What if I want to move to Washington, D.C.? I want to move to Florida. I want to move to another country. I want to go live in London. These things on the inside, they're on the inside of us for a reason. And I want you to understand that. These desires are on the inside of you for a reason, and God is trying to get you to stretch your imagination and think bigger than your surroundings right now. You've got to think bigger. But what happens with your family many times when you try to think bigger and you try to step out and make a big move is that the fear comes up on the inside of them too. Well, baby, don't move. We all grew up in this community. We're a close-knit community. We love each other here. All your family's here. You're going to have the support that you need. And they start giving you all these reasons you should stay. Yes, they love you. Yes, they want you around. But what this does is it plants a seed that many times, if we're not strong enough in what we believe and what we desire, it plants a seed to remain where you are. And so, hello, love. Hi, honey. My husband's on here, y'all. He's not going to be here long. He just coming to say hi. Hi, baby. So it plants this seed for us to remain where we are. And sometimes that's enough to stifle the dream in you. If the dream is not that strong or the dream is not that big, it stifles that in you. And you think, maybe I should stay here. All my family is here. My friends are here. But What happens if you don't explore that dream? If you don't explore that dream, what happens? The very thing that God put on the inside of you, because you want to stay close to your family. Crystal, amazing, and I'm so glad you're talking about this because my daughter had a dream about a witch chasing her. Ooh, girl. She's 11. My mother, me, and my sister have all had the same issue. And that's big, Crystal. You know, if you've had these dreams and these dreams have come from generation to generation, there's a spirit attached to the lineage. There's a spirit attached to that family line. So I really encourage you to spend some time in prayer, even with your mother or your daughter. If you can, spend some time in prayer and really ask God to reveal to you what this spirit is and how it's holding your family back. Because God is calling your lineage and your family line to greatness. But this dream here, there's something that's attaching. So I really just want to encourage you to spend time in prayer and ask God, how can I move beyond this? It's a whole lot more to that, and we can kind of talk one-on-one about that. But I want you to understand that there are a such thing, and a lot of people don't believe it, there are such things as generational curses and generational transmissions. And there's so many things that we could talk about under that, but I really just wanted to focus on the mindset piece today. So even when it comes to, you know, you wanted to maybe explore and move away from the family because God has given you these dreams and there's things that you want to do or businesses that you want to start or opportunities in other places, I encourage you to explore that. Because the last question I want you to ask yourself is, what would have happened if I would have left? How would my life have turned out if I would have did what I really wanted to do? It's not about being rebellious. It's not about, you know, turning against your family and saying, I don't want to be involved in the family anymore. No, it's that God has given me a dream and I have got to step out on faith and explore it. I can no longer succumb to what my family has succumbed to, these fears that has kept them from moving forward in their dream. And that's one of the things that I had to find out for myself is, for me, when I graduated with my bachelor's degree, I was like, I'm gone, y'all. I'm out of here. I'm moving to California. And that was a huge dream for me. Now, here's the catch, is that all my family is in Cincinnati. I have a big family and we're extremely close. I love my family. We get together like every month, if not more than that. So for me to leave my family in itself was a big deal. Hey, Alexis. For me to leave my family in itself was a big deal. But there was a dream on the inside of me that was bigger than staying in Cincinnati. And I had to follow that no matter what anyone said. And with me, it wasn't that anyone was trying to stop me. They weren't stopping me from going. They weren't trying to say, well, Candace, you should stay here. Okay, some of them did. Some of them did. But I also had a lot of naysayers. She not going nowhere. She not moving. You gonna move? You really gonna do that? Yeah, I am. And here's the thing. When you finally take that step, you know what everyone's gonna be like? Oh, she did it. She conquered her fear. She did the very thing I wish I could have did. I'm sitting here with dreams on the inside of me that I am not exploring because I want to be with my family. How many of us are using that as an excuse? We are stifling and crunching our own dreams because we want to be a close-knit family. We don't want to leave the family. God is calling you to bigger and better things. But you've got to step out on faith and explore that. There's a mindset shift that has to take place. And it's not personal. I'm not trying to leave my mom, my dad, and my brother and everybody else just so that I can explore my dreams and come back and talk in your face. It's not about that. But what would have happened if you would have followed your dream? Mom, dad, uncle, aunt, grandma, grandpa? Where would you have been? Where would our whole family have been if you would have followed your dream and instilled that in us to follow our own dreams? Where would our lineage have been? Our bloodlines? Instead of succumbing to the spirit of fear, where would we be right now if everybody in our family did exactly what God was calling them to do and did not succumb to the word of the enemy, that fear, the very thing that's stifling you and keeping you back, holding you hostage from living a fruitful and abundant life? If you're hearing me right now, what is your dream? Type it in the chat. I want you to speak it. I know you're not speaking it out loud, but speak it out loud. What is your dream? Type it in the chat. What is it that you want to do? It doesn't even have to be professionally, but what is it that you want to do that you're not doing right now? Type it in the chat box. We're declaring our dreams right now, right here in this space. And then moving forward is going to hold you accountable because you put it out into the atmosphere of what you want to do. Now you need to hold yourself accountable or connect to someone else that's going to partner with you and say, let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's overcome this spirit of fear and follow the very thing that God's placed on the inside of us. What is your dream, my love? All right. This is right on time for me. You're dropping nuggets. Thank you, Alexis. I hope it's blessing you. Ladies, share this out. If you're here with me, share this out. Because I'm on a mission for millions, waging war against the spirit of fear. I want to get this message into the hands of every woman that I possibly can. Because too many of us are succumbing to fears and not walking in our destinies and in our purpose and the very thing that God has called us to do. We're not even happy. You're not even happy where you are right now. Share this out. Because it's time and it's the season for us to get in position for the outpouring of God's blessings. God is about to shift some things, but you've got to be ready to receive it. And I promise you right now, if you're not in position to receive the very thing that God is trying to give you, you are going to miss it. You're going to miss it because you were scared. Because you didn't believe that God doesn't give us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of sound mind, of power. That power is on the inside of you. The sound mind, we have the ability to reason and to think. And of love, when are you going to love yourself enough to say, I need to do what God is calling me to do. I have it in me. I love myself to at least try. At least try. Half of us ain't even trying. We have these dreams and we barely entertain it. Everything on the inside of us wants to. We want to leave our hometowns. We want to explore a new business. We want to get that new job opportunity. We want to see the world and travel. But we're scared. These little fears on the inside of us. And these feelings of unworthiness. I can't do that. I won't be able to do that. I don't have enough money for that. Baby, do you know how to save money? Can you save $5, $10, $100 every week, every month to make your dream happen? We got to cut out the excuses. We make too many excuses for why we can't do what we're called to do. When you already have the power within you, you just got to tap into it. You got to tap into it. And how do you tap into it? How do you find out what that power is on the inside of you? You try. You try it. You take one step towards your goal. And when you accomplish that step, boom, I got a little bit of confidence to help me take another step. You don't evolve overnight. You don't evolve into this big, great person that you want to be overnight. It's a daily process, and it's a daily commitment. And every day you're not going to feel like it. I promise you, you're not. Because every day I don't feel like it. Every day I feel like nothing's happening in my life. But if I keep going, I see the growth. I see the transformation. I see the change. I see where God is taking me. But I've got to understand that it's a process. I wouldn't even be where I am right now today if I didn't try, if I didn't take that first step, if I didn't believe in myself enough to know that I can make it happen. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but I feel it on the inside of me. I feel God calling me to this. Okay, Mom, hey Mom, travel the world. Sonia, owning my own nail shop. Yes, girl. Mom, you are gonna travel the world. Sonia, you are going to own your own nail shop. You've been doing this for a minute. It's coming. Crystal, to write a book and speak to women all over, hold on, let's move in poverty struck cities to overcome hardships. That's Crystal. I'm telling you right now, your vision and your goal is so huge. The enemy is going to try to throw everything he can at you. Because if you can shift the mind of these other women to understand that they do not have to live in poverty, how many of these women are going to be able to walk in the grace and the abundance of God? The enemy doesn't want that. So if he can stop you where you are from moving forward, all the rest of these women are going to die in poverty because you chose not to live. I want you to choose to live today. Choose to live today. Write your book. If you haven't started that book, baby, today make a decision. I will write page 1 today. You have it on the inside of you and you know what you want to say, Crystal. Start today. Children's books and novels. Yes, Crystal, you will be a writer. An award-winning writer at that. To create or to own a cafe, thrift shop, and to do trainings and help encourage people to gain job skills. Baby, I love your dream. I really do. Alexis, to empower the people to be able to get a handle of their financial future. You are so needed. I had to take a breath because I'm like, I want you to understand how much people need that. So many of us are so unruly with our finances. We get a couple of dollars and can't hang on to a couple of dollars. I've struggled with that. So yeah. How many of us are living in poverty because we can't get a handle on our financial future? We need you, Alexis. Hi, Lanky. Is that how you say it, honey? If I'm saying it wrong, I'm so sorry. You're welcome, Lanky. Crystal, amen. But it's a day at a time and a dollar say absolutely. And that's what I want you ladies to understand is that it doesn't happen overnight. Don't get discouraged when you're not a millionaire by tomorrow. Please don't. It's a day at a time. Every day, maybe even map out, what can I do today to take one step towards my vision, towards my future? What can I do tomorrow? Do it 7 days at a time so that you don't become overwhelmed and that you don't feel like this is far distant dream that you're trying to achieve. Start week by week by week, 7 days at a time. Write 7 steps you can take. One for Sunday, one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. What can I do one step at a time to achieve the very thing that God is calling me to? And you've got to make a commitment to step out on faith and to say, I'm going to try it. I'm going to do the very thing that God wants me to do, and I'm not going to give up. My mama gave up. My daddy gave up. My grandma and grandpa, maybe they gave up. My aunties and uncles, maybe they gave up. Maybe that's why they're not living their dreams. But I don't want to be that person. It's not a slight towards them at all. But maybe God is calling me to be that one that shows them that it's possible. Maybe God is calling me to be that pioneer and to chop down all the bushes and the trees and to pave that way for the rest of my family. What an honor. What an honor to be chosen to change the trajectory of your bloodline, of your lineage. I'm not even talking about the family in your house. I'm talking about your bloodline and your lineage. God is calling you to change that and to shift that. Because if you can shift your mindset and the way you think into more of an explorative adventure mindset to where I'm going to lose this fear and do what God is calling me to do, guess what's going to happen? Your children are going to watch you. And because now you've shifted the environment that you grew up in to now you're creating something different, now your children are going to grow up in a different environment than you grew up in. And they're going to become the products of their own environment. Now they automatically have a mindset that they can do what God is calling them to do. They can explore their dreams. They can do the very things that are placed on the inside of them. They're automatically going to believe it because you believed it. You made a decision to believe it. At some point in your life, now you can show them how to believe it. And then guess what they're going to do? They're going to show their kids the same thing. You have shifted an entire bloodline, an entire lineage by the way you shift your mind. Not only have you changed the trajectory of your bloodline moving forward, but you shifted something in the rest of your family that came before you. Now maybe they're going to be like, well, if she can do that, let me try and step out on what I want to do. Well, baby, let me get involved in this dream. You've encouraged them. You've inspired them. What an honor to be chosen by God to shift a bloodline, baby. That is so deep to me when I think about that. Like a whole bloodline, like for real. Like not just my family inside of my house. Like my aunties, my uncles, my cousins, my grandparents. Like everyone attached to them. Like, baby, you got it in you. Dree, own a very successful salon with deep roots and outreach. Travel the world, own multiple businesses. Help someone achieve their vision. Absolutely. And you, baby, you got it in you too. You have it. All of you ladies, you have it in you. Most of you are actually dibbling and dabbling in the very thing that you want to do. But we've got to check our mindset on a daily basis because it gets hard. No matter what your dream is, it gets hard. It does. And so many of us quit because of that. We feel like, well, it's not working. So, let me stop. It's not going to be easy every day. And if God is calling us to something new, we don't have no frame of reference. A lot of times we don't have a frame of reference because it's something new. We don't have, our parents are doing it and our grandparents did it. So we're just flying by the seat of our pants a lot of times trying to figure out and navigate this calling that God has placed on us. But I'm telling you, God will give you the wisdom that you need He will give you the wisdom that you need to take the proper steps. He already has given you the strength that you need. Many of you are already doing it. Hold on. Let me go back. Crystal, yes, because at a young age, I dreamed that bullets were hitting me. Ooh, and recently I realized what that dream was saying. The enemy would try to stop me. He's out for you. He has a bounty out for your family. I come against the enemy's plan to kill you and your family in the name of Jesus. He has no authority and he has no room. Take your rightful place, Crystal, in God's kingdom. You have power and authority. Alexis, having the courage to know that I'm enough and that what I know is valuable. It is. Baby, it is. And that's the thing. So many times we know what we know, and we know that we know it, right? But we're scared to tell other people because we feel like maybe, it's not good enough. I encourage you to try. Step out there and talk to them. The people, about what you know. We're not called to everybody. And let me tell you this right now. We are not called to everybody. There are going to be some people that know what we know already. We ain't called to them. Have a nice day. Thank you. But you got this. You're good. Let me focus my attention on the people who need what I have. And I think that's where we get discouraged because we're in front of the wrong people. Get in front of the right people. Okay, Alexis, right. That's what I've started doing, working on my brand and website. Okay, just need to launch it. Get on that, boo. Get your time frame together. Make sure you have everything you need and get on that launch. You did exactly what you said you were going to do. I remember where the word. Sonia, yeah, we've been talking about this even before I left. We were working together when I decided to move. Baby, wasn't nothing gonna stop me. Nothing was going to stop me. I didn't care. I didn't care what my family said. It didn't matter to me because I knew the dream that God gave me, and my excitement was greater than my fear. All I knew was God was calling me to be a therapist at the time, and I was going to do whatever it took to make it happen because I wanted to be happy. I wanted to be fulfilled. I wanted to know that I was making a difference in the world, and I didn't want to just be stuck living a mediocre life and not even fulfilling my dream. Okay, yeah, sure. Crystal, thank you. It's very true. So ladies, I want you to understand you've got to first become aware of these generational transmissions, and they go from generation to generation. So identify it. Take some time to think about your family, people who are connected to you, your mom, your dad, aunts, uncles, cousins, grandparents. What did they struggle with that you find yourself struggling with? This is something that you can even write down. We do a lot of this in the mastermind where we're really even going to do like a family tree. Where we're going to go back and talk to our families. We're going to take courageous steps to talk to our families about these generational curses. And we'll talk more about that inside of the mastermind. But it's really about understanding how the enemy has tried to kill off your bloodline, the purpose of your bloodline, and how you can make a decision to shift your mind and say, no more. No more will I let my family fall trapped to the enemy's plan. It starts with me today. I make a decision because at the end of the day, my children will be watching me and they will learn what I have learned. And it's not about me teaching them in word, but it's about teaching them in deed. They've got to see me move forward in grace, move forward in commitment, move forward in power, move forward fearlessly. Because if they watch you continuously make decisions rooted in fear and low self-esteem, that's how they're going to grow up, and they're going to learn how to make their own decisions. They'll never follow the dream that God is calling them to do because it's always going to be rooted in this fear, in this low self-esteem. So I want to encourage you, ladies, if you're ready to make a decision to say, I will change the trajectory of my bloodline, I want you to inbox me because I have a mastermind starting on June 5th where we're going to go through the entire Confidently Courageous program, month by month by month. Month one, we're doing a one-on-one where you're writing the vision and you're making it plain. And it's really about, what do I really want? What do I see for myself? How is that going to change not only myself, but my family and the world? You want to write it down. Then month 2, we're talking about discovering the root of fear and feelings of unworthiness. Where did these feelings come from? Where was it that seed planted in my life that made me believe that I couldn't do it, or made me really start adapting the mindset of this fearful mindset? Month 3, we're talking about reframing your life more positively. How can I learn how to shift the very things that have happened to me, these awful, heinous things that have happened to me that I wouldn't even wish on my worst enemy? How can I learn how to let that go and shift my own life to understand that there's a lesson and there's a gift in it, and that I can no longer allow this to hold me back from what God is calling me to. God is calling me to a purpose that's greater and that's beautiful. But if I don't let this pain go, and if I don't forgive, I'm never gonna reach it. Month 4, we're talking about courage in action. This is where we're shifting from that internal state and understanding where these fears come from to now we're putting courage into action. You know, this can be considered the hard part too. It's all kind of hard, but that's what Confidently Courageous is about. It's about doing the scary things, doing the very things that you've been scared to do. That's why you're not where you want to be, because you won't do it. You won't do it because it's scary. You won't dig deep because it's scary and it's hurtful. I understand that, honey. But at what point do you say, I've got to do this? I'm tired of living like this. So we're in month 4, we're going into courage in action. And this is where, you know, we're connecting with people, we're communicating with people, we're doing the very scary things, okay? Month 5, we're talking about consistency and accountability. We're connecting to other people who can help hold us accountable. People that maybe we look up to and we admire, and we'd be like, oh my God, I have to talk to them. Yes, baby, you do. Because they're going to hold you to a higher standard of greatness. And we're being held accountable, and we're practicing consistency, remaining persistent in that pain. The only way to get your healing is to press through the pain. And so I'm going to be holding your hand doing that. And then lastly, we're going to close out this 6-month mastermind with a live retreat in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. 5 days in the Dominican Republic, having the time of our life, creating experiences and memories, doing scary things that maybe we thought we would never do. You know, I made mention of this last time. If skydiving is like terrifying for you, guess what? Maybe we'll do. We'll skydive. Because I want you to go home being like, oh my gosh, who am I? Did I just do that? Did I just really do that? I want you to be surprised at yourself, surprised at the power within you and the courage within you, that over the course of the 5 months prior, you have shifted your mindset to a point you're doing the very things you never thought you could do. How accomplished would you feel if you made a determination to do the scary things? It's going to be scary. It's going to be painful, but we've got to process through that in order to get to our healing. And that's what I want you to understand. I don't want you to continue to go through this process of feeling alone and feeling like you don't have any self-worth and low self-esteem, and fears are stopping you from what God has put on the inside of you. I don't want that dream to die. The last thing I want is for you to take your dream, wrap it up, place it aside, and sit in a cubicle for the next 30 years. Oh God, please don't sit in a cubicle for the next 30 years. If you want to sit in a cubicle for the next 30 years, go for it. But that's not what God has for you. And you know that. You sat in here and typed in this chat box the very things that you wanted to do. So it's time for you to make a commitment to yourself and say yes. Yes to yourself. Yes, this is my season. This is my time. It's scary as all get out, but I'm ready. And I want you to understand the trap of the enemy. When you get a word in your system and when you make an internal commitment to yourself to do greater and be bigger, he's going to come fight you. He's going to come for you, probably today, probably even in this moment. He's going to come and tell you, you can't do that. You won't be able to make that happen. Who's going to listen to you? You don't have any education. You don't have enough time to do all that. You have a family. You don't have any money. You can't afford that. He's going to come to you right now in this moment, even after this moment, in the rest of the week, to try and solidify in your mind that you're not worthy. And he's going to try to reinforce these fears. But it is up to you to walk into your power, the very power that's on the inside of you, that God has given you. If he didn't give you the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and a sound mind, when are we going to believe that? When are we going to believe what God says about us? Instead of living what the enemy has told us all of our lives. When is it time for you to finally be happy? Now. Now is your time. If you're ready to make a determination and you're ready to live confidently courageous, get in my inbox right now. This mastermind is a 6-month mastermind. It starts June 5th, and there's only 10 women that I'm accepting into this mastermind, okay? If you're ready to work through it so that you can become the you that you really see, that you want to be, that vision that you see, that you feel like is so far off, which is really not. If you're ready to become her, get in my inbox right now for this mastermind so that we can understand everything that the enemy has tried to use to kill you. God is going to flip the script, baby. He's going to use it as your testimony to bring everybody else out of their hell. There's glory in that. Walk in your glory. Ladies, if this is you, if God is pulling on your heart right now, get in my inbox so that you can interview for this, the Queen's Courage Camp. It's a 6-month mastermind ending with a live retreat in Punta Cana, Dominican Republic. Okay? Get in my inbox. I have some workshops coming up in as well, and I also have a free masterclass. I'm going to put, can I do it here? I can. I have a free masterclass. What is this? That is available to you right now. So I'm going to put it in the chat so you can go hop on that. It's about a 90-minute masterclass, and it also has some worksheets that you can do with it. So take about 2 hours to work through this, and it's essentially the taste of the Confidently Courageous program that's really going to give you some insight into where you've been and where you're going, and how you can really work through it and overcome these fears and be a more confidently courageous you. If you're fine where you're at, being the you that you are, great. But I want so much more for you, and I know that you want so much more for you. Hey, Victoria, I didn't even see you. No wonder why I've become such a fighter. Yes, I need your mastermind. All right, Crystal, connect with me, honey. That was supposed to say word for word. Oh, okay. So I'm actually going to put this link to the masterclass in here. It's a free masterclass. Bit.do. I don't even know what the link is here. I'm not going to put it right now because I don't even remember what the link is. I'm going to put it in there when I exit off of here. So be sure that you come get this masterclass. What is my masterclass link? I'm going to do it after this. But it's a free masterclass, so I want to be sure that you get a hold of that, okay? If you're going to be in, let's see, Cincinnati, Columbus, Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta, and Miami, this summer I'm doing a Confidently Courageous tour. So I'm going to do half-day workshops as well in these cities. If you're in these cities, go to, you know what, this is what you're going to do. Everybody right now, go right here. I'm putting a link in for you. Confidently Courageous. Okay, so there's the link. If you're ready to move forward in the mastermind, inbox me because there is an application and interview process. I just want to be sure that we're a good fit to work together. If you're going to be in any of the cities that I listed, Cincinnati, Columbus, Los Angeles, Houston, Atlanta, or Miami this summer, I want you to go to this link as well, because I'm doing half-day workshops in these cities where you'll really be able to work through your fears and these feelings of unworthiness and understand who you are in Christ and have an experience. This is the thing, is God is calling me to give women an experience of a lifetime. Your mind doesn't shift unless you've been transformed. You got to have an experience. This isn't just another workshop that you're coming to. Baby, when I tell you, I'm going to just let you go to the website and see, okay? Because I'm telling you, these workshops are going to change the way you think. They're going to change your life. You know, we start off with praise and worship. We're honoring God from the outset of what he's about to do. So you're already in high vibration moving forward. And then we're going to dig deep and understand where this mess is coming from. How can we work through this mess so that we can move forward in clarity and insight and purpose and feel accomplished and fulfilled at the end of 5 hours, because we understand who we are in God. And we're going to play some games, because that's the way I love to just even move through interactions with family and friends, is having fun and learning in these games. Trust and believe, you're going to have some fun. So make sure you go to bit.do/confidently courageous. You'll be able to access the free masterclass, the half-day workshops, the retreat that I have a waiting list for, a retreat that I'm going to be doing in Cancun, Mexico, and then also the mastermind. You'll be able to access all of that on that page. All of that's part of the Confidently Courageous program. If you're still here with me as I'm about to wrap up, please go ahead and share this out. Share this out to your family and friends and any women that you feel are struggling with fears and you know that they have greater purpose. Share this out with them. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to wrap up. But if you're feeling like you want to be a part of this mastermind, go ahead and inbox me right now so that we can get you interviewed and get you in if you're a good fit. Otherwise, I want everybody on this live stream with me and on the replay to go to bit.do/confidently courageous. Register for one of the workshops. Check out the free masterclass if you need to at first. Register for the mastermind or the retreat. I have several options at several price points for you, depending on what your needs are. But today is your time, in this year is your time. God is calling you to greater things, bigger, better, greater things. You know what? I feel like if God can do exceedingly abundantly above all I can ask or think, exceedingly abundantly above, so the best dream in my head is not even what you're going to do. I'm gonna get the best dream, and I'm gonna go with you, God. If that's what you have for me, I want it. I want every bit of it. And I want you to have that same mindset. I want you to be able to trust God and where He's taking you. Understand that it's beautiful. Understand that it's great. But you're not going to get it if you're holding on to all of this. If you're holding on to all that fear and all these feelings of unworthiness and things holding you back, you're not going to walk into it. And the last thing I want is for some of us to walk into it and others of us to be just watching, wishing, and waiting for a miracle. Baby, your miracle starts with you. You've got to make a determination and a decision that you're worth it. Sometimes we don't feel like we're worth it, but you got to say, I'm worth it. And in this moment, I'm feeling good. I'm going to step out on faith in this moment before it goes away. So if that's you, step out on faith in this moment and inbox me. Beautiful queens, I love you so much, and I just want you to understand your royalty and what God is calling you to. I don't want you to hate your life. I don't want you to be unhappy. I don't want you to be unfulfilled. I don't want you to create a legacy of fear and low self-esteem for your kids. A legacy of courage and hope. That's what God is calling us to. Never lose hope, my love. Never lose hope. Ladies, I love you so much, and I'm about to go ahead and get off of here because I've been on here for 45 minutes. So I love you so much. If you're feeling like you're ready to be her, you're ready to be her, you're ready to be confidently courageous, make sure, number one, you share this out, and number two, you go ahead and go to bit.do/confidently courageous. Register for a workshop if you're going to be in any of those cities. Register for to interview for the mastermind if you're ready to really dive deep into your fears and really explore them so that you can come out on the other end victorious and courageous. I want you to go watch the masterclass. It's free. You can go take a look at it today, and make sure you just reserve 2 hours for that. But I'm going to go ahead and get off here, ladies. I love you so much. If you have any questions, concerns, inbox me. I'm available to you. I'm here to serve you. This is what God has placed on my heart, and I'm here for you, my loves. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off of here, and I will see you ladies soon. I love you.